Doing
Show.
great, Rich. Thanks for having me.
I don't know if in any of your endeavors last night, if you were able to turn on the television set, but I don't know if you noticed one of the first passes that Fernando Mendoza completed for the Raiders last night was right to Malik Benson.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Okay. I didn't get to see it, but there was a lot of text messages going around on our thread last night of a lot of our guys making plays. Brett Betcher and Noah Whittington, a few of these guys got to be involved. But I saw Malik post catch. I got to see the clip. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I know I don't know if he's healthy enough to run tonight for the Jets, but you got Kenyon Sadiq going down for when he gets out there. Dylan Thieneman is somebody that Bears fans are very excited to potentially see on Saturday. That game's going to be on NFL Network. I mean, how tuned in can you be on what's going down with the guys you just sent to the next level?
We're always tracking. We're always following. I don't always get to watch it live, but we're going to make sure we get a chance to see some of it. I think Saturday night I'll have a little bit of free time after our scrimmage Saturday to maybe catch a couple of those.
And then how much do you like to say connect with Bucky Irving, guys who aren't going through it for the first time, but maybe second, third time from your program in the few years you've been there up in Oregon?
Well, each guy's different, but Bucky's a guy I talk to a lot. Got a lot of love for Bucky. We kind of have a routine in season. We talk once a week. Really every Thursday during the season we talk. So that's about to start ramping back up for us.
How do you first of all, how do you find the time, man?
Oh man, they found the time for us, right? They found the time for us. I got to find the time for them. And to be honest, when the relationship's real, it's pretty easy. You're going to make sure you navigate it, and it's not manufactured, man. It's something that him and I both look forward to every week, and I hope that I can have that relationship with any of our players that played here, and need somebody to talk to each week.
I got to be honest with you. The reason why I mentioned Bucky Irving is I drafted him in fantasy.
It's a great pick. It's a great pick. I love that pick.
Yeah. Okay. How good? How much do you like that pick, Coach?
I love that pick, man. I'm not in any fantasy leagues. My youngest son, Titan, just did a fantasy team, and selfishly, I was trying to get him to, draft all Ducks, and so there was a little bit of anger in our household when he didn't.
Oh, okay. I get it.
I told him to draft Bucky, so you got him. I don't know if he got Bucky. I don't think he got Bucky, so that's his mistake.
Yeah, I know. But you'd speak to anything you're willing to share about what you do talk with players like that.
Usually it's just life, man. It's life. It's where you're at. It's very little about what they're doing. Sometimes like when Bo and I talk, we look for, a level up. What are they doing that we need to be doing? And vice versa. What are we doing that maybe they could incorporate? His self-awareness has climbed through the roof, since he's been there with the Broncos, and Sean's done an unbelievable job with him. But those conversations with Bo sometimes are a little bit more about football, but generally, I hope it's just a little bit about life and checking in and see where they're at.
Dan Lanning, Oregon head football coach here on the Rich Eisen Show. Our ESPN Radio and Sirius XM Channel 80 audiences have just rejoined us live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app. You mentioned Bo Nix moments ago in our conversation. Let's talk about the kid you've got at your starting quarterback spot. There's going to be a ton of eyes on Dante Moore this year, a ton, because his name is mentioned, bandied about as being a first overall selection. What's your relationship with him and how you handle that portion of the equation?
Yeah, a common conversation for us, but I'll tell you this, the guy has done an unbelievable job absorbing all the pressure and the spotlight that comes with it. He's one of the most humble people I know. And he realized that he's in charge of his performance, right? It has nothing to do with the media, has nothing to do with the praise, right? Or lack thereof at times. It's really going to be about him and what he does on the field. And I think he handles that pressure really, really well. And he's special, right? The attention that he gets, it's deserved. He's earned it. He's worked really hard. The guy can make some unbelievable throws and unbelievable plays. And sometimes the best play he can make is an incompletion. He knows that, like getting the ball back till we can get back to the line of scrimmage and have another play. So I'm really proud of his growth, what he's done this offseason. I'm really proud of how he's handled, all the attention that's come his way.
Have you hooked him up with Bo Nix? Anybody else from the history at the position of your school?
He is unbelievable at talking to a lot of people when it comes to, okay, what can I pull from this person? What can I grab from this guy? And, whether it's a conversation with Peyton Manning or it's a conversation with Bo, Marcus Mariota, like whoever, Cam Newton, he's going to figure out what his resources are and how he can tap into it. So he's definitely taking advantage of that and uses it.
Obviously, one name leaps out. It's the one that didn't go to Oregon. Obviously, Cam Newton didn't either. But Peyton Manning, what's the general tenor of those conversations about what he's
I'm
imparted to
not
you?
on the phone with them, and
Right.
I don't know that I'm saying they speak weekly, but they've definitely had conversations, and I think a lot of those conversations even happened before Dante decided to be back.
Right.
I think he had Peyton's a great example of a guy that decided to come back. What's that look like for him? Going through a similar situation. So anybody that he can lean on, like this guy is yearning for knowledge. He's going to take advantage of that and use it.
So one last one on, again, I know it's a full roster here, and I'm just lingering on one kid, but what do you think he needs to improve upon from now until playoff time for you to get him ready for the next level that you think needs to be polished a little bit more, Coach?
Yeah, I think he's done a great job attacking. I always hate sharing that on here because you're kind of giving the clues and the hints and context to the defensive coaches that you're going to go against. But
Okay.
on the same note, everything that he does this year is a level up from what he did last year, whether it's his pre-snap, post-snap reads, the ability to get us in the right play. I think he's taken that all to another level. And then even again, the decision-making to burn a ball and not force something that's not there, I think that's really improved. So he's improved in every way, as a person, as a player. I think that'll show up this year on film.
Are you accusing me of trying to get information for the Michigan defensive coaching staff for that visit to your house on November 14th? Did that just happen? I just want to make sure.
Does the shoe fit, Rich? Does the shoe fit?
Hey,
I'm wearing shoes now, but maybe not that version. But
Okay.
I like it. No, I'm picking up what you're putting down. What does excite you about this team this year that perhaps can put you in the spot holding that beautiful trophy, Coach?
Yeah,
What do you think?
I love we have a great group of youth and veteran players, but last year we had a lot of youth that played and significant snaps, so they're playing with relatively no or little experience. So when you see guys like Jordan Davison, De'Aaron Hill, Brandon Finney, Naeem Alford, Nas Wyatt, all these young freshmen that played for us last year and really didn't get to go through an entire offseason, understand every call that they're trying to execute. I'm excited to see those guys go into year 2 with a little bit more experience, and even guys that are going into year 3, like Jeremiah McClellan that came in and came on for us really strong last year. Jamari Johnson, year 2 in our system for him. So that excites me, the experience that we return and how those players have attacked the offseason, letting those rewards show up on the field.
I have been talking to a lot of your colleagues lately on this program, and Coach Whittingham being one and Sark being another, about the future of the sport and what you feel needs to be done. I mean, you are clearly at the forefront of name, image, and likeness, not just with your program, but obviously with a man who's associated with your program and Phil Knight. And you know how much money it takes to field a roster now. I mean, the number I'm hearing for this year and for next, potentially for someone like yourself, $50 million. I mean, we're starting to get towards 9 figures to try and field a team. What do you think needs to be done to try and get something done where kids get paid, but there are rules for everyone, and scheduling is a rule for everyone? What do you think needs to be done here, Coach?
Yeah, I think it's really hard to put the toothpaste back in the tube. You're right. The price of poker continues to change, especially for teams that are trying to be as competitive as they can be in college football. What rule changes to fix that? I don't know. I mean, there was a cap set, and that's obviously that there's a cap, or is there a cap, right? There's some pieces that play into that. I think the biggest rule that can change in college football, and it's one that I've been a huge advocate for a long time, is the season ending earlier. I think solves a lot of problems. A portal open in season creates a market that's really hard to keep track of. Guys are enticed to hop in the portal because they can go somewhere else and make more money while the season's still being played. So I still think that's the first solution to any of this, is making sure the season ends January 1st. It's a sacred day for college football. What can we do to make that happen? Which, there's a lot of teams that do playoffs. Nobody does playoffs like college football does, where you have bowl sites and, months in between games. Like, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And I think that can solve some of this. And certainly there's some more pieces to legislation that can come through that can make this a little bit more of an equal playing field.
Yeah, you have been pounding the table on that for a while, and I love the
Keep
idea.
hitting it.
No,
I'll keep hitting
I
it.
love it. Listen, I'm a Rose Bowl guy. I grew up in my parents' house in Staten Island, New York, in a basement, looking at that Rose Bowl on January 1st, and my television set, there's a foot of snow outside, and I saw that blue sky. I'm like, I got to go there one day, man. Like, and it's also an electric day bowl day. It would be awesome if that is, if you will, like the Super Sunday of college football. That would be great, but backdate it for me. What would have to happen in the regular season for you to hit that date scheduling wise?
Most likely you have to start week 0 for games, which, a lot of teams are already playing week 0 games anyway, right? The championship games for Big 10, SEC, ACC, Big 12, like these conferences, that would probably either have to move up, right? With it moving to the first limited bye weeks and then playing a playoff game every single week, similar to the NFL. You play on Saturday, guess what? You play the next Saturday. You play the next Saturday. Right now, that doesn't happen. If you did that, you're playing the semifinals at worst January 1st, and then you're playing the championship game the next week. But the current format, we've got long periods of time in between playoff games. That doesn't, it certainly doesn't fit. If you expanded the playoff, then that probably does eliminate, those championship games. But on the same note, that revenue is made back up because a lot of this is about TV revenue. That revenue is made back up by the playoff games that are added, in those games.
Hey, man, I'm for that because how many times have we heard, oh, you play in the championship games for your conference? That's not going to hurt your standing, and then it does. Or or a player of yours gets hurt, and then the next games where you are one and done.
Everybody else is relaxing, right?
You know what I mean? Like, honestly, like, for instance, just last year when Mendoza took one in the chops from Ohio State just to start that game, they clearly were testing him out, right? But I thought to myself, holy crap, in this game that technically matters, but supposed to doesn't.
Right.
Indiana's quarterback just got hit like that.
Yeah. And in the NFL, it's the exact opposite. It's the teams fighting to get into the playoff, the wild card teams that play when nobody else is playing. So, if you look over the last 2 years, the only team that's won the first round bye is Indiana. Right. I think that speaks, okay, wait, we're supposed to set this up to where those teams have an opportunity to have success. Right. Obviously, having a month off between games is not an advantage for teams. Right. That's kind of improving. Playing at bowl sites rather than playing at a home venue, I don't think that makes a lot of sense. If you earn the right to be a higher seeded team, then you should have, you should have a home game, in that environment.
Yeah, I'm with you. If I, remember correctly, I was rooting very hard for you in that Rose Bowl that you did have a higher seed, and then Ohio State comes in like a house of fire because, they lost to us a couple weeks before, but I shouldn't be grinding an axe on your time. But it would have been better, obviously, if you were in Eugene. No doubt about it.
Right. And they played a game the week before that where, our last game was, a long time before we played, January 1st. And I think we played in the Big 10 championship game, somewhere early December, 5th or 6th. So, going 25 days without a football game, there's a difference, but there is no complaining. There's no moaning on our end. I just think the format could be much better. That's not the way anybody else does playoffs.
Well, you had me at hello on this, Coach. When you run this up a flagpole, what are you hearing? You got anybody else that says I'm with Coach Lanning here?
TV money is what I'm hearing. TV money, and then I hear the NFL's taking over a lot of dates. We basically, in a lot of ways, we train all these college football players, and they get to go to the NFL. We're like the minor league system for the NFL, and it doesn't seem like they bend over backwards to help us out at all with, hey, this is an important date for college football. Let's leave this open. Those Saturdays getting taken over pretty quick when the playoffs hit, and with some games in December with the NFL. So I think there's two pieces. It's hard to get those days back from the NFL that they've kind of taken over. And then the money that's generated, through the bowl games is something that would have to be attacked.
And then I guess last one for you on this one is whose flagpole does one run it up, right? Like
if you can't tell, I try to run it up every flagpole. Right. That I get a chance. I try to talk to anybody and everybody because I just think it makes so much sense. So I probably spent too much time on it because it doesn't seem like it's changing much.
All right. But I lied too. One last one. How many playoff teams do you see? How many would you want? What do you think?
I'm great with 4. I'm great with 12, right? But ideally, if we're talking about it's a TV problem, you have to generate more revenue.
Right.
Right. So if you have to generate more revenue, what does that mean? It means add more teams. We've been in the playoff the last 2 years. It doesn't necessarily make sense for Oregon to add, more playoff teams, right? Because we put ourselves in that position the last few years. But I do think it makes sense for college football. You're going to have more fans engaged. You're going to have less guys sit out of bowl games. You're going to have less people battling with the portal, in that same sense where guys kind of check out. And I think that'll create some excitement around college football. In every other major sport, a much higher percentage of teams make it into the playoff, but that's going to generate revenue. You're still going to figure out who's best. It's going to be a little bit more like March Madness, where who has the hot hand winning at the end has the best chance, right? But that's kind of what it's been in college football the last few years. Indiana really had the hot hand. Ohio State got hung up and then got really hot there after they played Tennessee and us and traveled there, into the later part of the playoffs. So there's benefits, there's negatives. I think that if the revenue is the reason we can't do it, then that's the thing we have to figure out. How do we create? I think you create more revenue by adding, making it a 2014 playoff.
I hear you. I'm with you. I like it because, again, right now the national championship game is closer to February than it is to
January 24th, I believe, this year.
It's so your
which means we're already in school. We're already in the next semester.
Yeah.
The portal's already open and closed, right? You have coaching transition that happens at the end of every season. All that stuff's eliminated if you move the season up.
Yeah, I love your idea because, again, you're using the schedule as something to organize, and then once things are organized there, everything else can come potentially off of that as a conversation that's a larger equation about revenues and who's in what boat and how many schools are in the same situation. And I kind of dig all that. I mean, and it's a personal question. Do you like your job? I mean, and the reason why I ask that, because you got to be politician, you got to be fundraiser, you got to be so much more than in a room, teaching tape and coaching kids up.
I love my job. It's a lot different than what it was 4 years ago, right? Even heading to year 5. And I think when I came in, the adaptability was the biggest trait I think any coach in the nation had to have, because rules were changing right and left. Things changed. The format changes. I enjoy that part, right? There's a lot of parts of the job, just like any job, probably yours too, that you don't enjoy, and that it comes with the territory. So if I want to get the opportunity to wear the organ O and sit in the seat I sit, and you got to do some of the jobs you don't like as well. So I'm having my best time when I'm out there on the practice field or on the football field getting to coach. That's by far the favorite, and around the players. But there's some other hats you wear too, and I don't mind wearing those hats if it means I get to have the job that I have.
All right. Well, I mean, I just I love my job, except when people I enjoy talking to and respect accuse me of trolling for information at the detriment of him. I mean, I don't particularly like that part of them. No, but I got tough skin.
He just asked a question.
I understand that. Before I let you go, when Bo Nix arrived, did you have to call up Justin Herbert to ask him if it was okay to give him number 10? Did you have to clear it with him?
Oh man, I think I know where you're going here. I'm kind of off the face of the play. I think I know where you're going. No,
Yeah.
You know what? And
Okay.
Obviously Dillon Gabriel wore Marcus's number.
Right.
Here. Each place is different. I can only speak on our situation, and we've been really fortunate that we got a lot of people working together on that stuff.
So there is a process. There is like a part of your machine, an apparatus set up to avoid any sort of sensitivity on numbers and who used to wear them and who's currently wearing them or anything like that.
I think our players have always had a better awareness, maybe even than me as a coach. It's not something you think a ton about as a coach.
Right.
I'll be honest. You want to respect everybody that's ever been a part of your program, but like Dillon, he had worn different numbers, but ultimately he said, hey, I really would like to wear 8, but let me call Marcus and make sure I have his blessing. So that was like on him. That I can't take any credit for that. That's him thinking ahead.
Dillon called Marcus. Dillon Gabriel called Marcus Mariota.
Marcus Mariota and said, hey man, I'd love to wear number 8. Do you feel comfortable with me doing that? And I think that's great respect from Dillon, and certainly warranted for everything that Marcus accomplished here. But on the same time, I think that's, shows a lot about Marcus as well, saying, absolutely, I want to see you rocking that number.
And then how often do you get a request from a recruit saying, I want to wear this number, that then you then have to go to someone on your team to say, are we cool with this?
I haven't dealt with that much. I haven't dealt with that much. I've been fortunate from that standpoint.
Okay.
I guess our goal will be to try to retire numbers like 53 and 47, maybe try to find some numbers that maybe people don't want. Those are the ones we can try to retire.
Gotcha. Okay. See, we got through it. No one, and if anybody says they want to wear something other than Nikes, now we got a problem.
You can't do that. Can't do that. Not here.
Rich, you might not know, but Oregon they've got this Jordan collection.
Yeah,
What's up, Coach? You got your own Oregon Duckman. You've got the Oregon Jordans are like They're holy grail. They're hard to get. So, Coach, if you have any spare 13 around and you want to send like
11 over here, Coach.
Guys,
I'm just saying they're hard to get.
I mean,
you know how lucky you are that you wear 13. That's the same size as me. I got a feeling you might be able to cash in.
Oh, wow.
You never know if you don't ask, right? You never know.
Coach, don't do that to me.
You miss 1,000% of the shots you don't take, right?
Dang.
My friend Lisa, who's an Oregon Duck alumni, she loves the Ducks. She's just going to love the fact that we even got a chance to talk. But if I got some Ducks, Jordans, 13.
You got to rock them now. Like, those things aren't meant to, like obviously they have value if
They don't
just
sit on the shelf,
in a box on the shelf. But no, you got to rock those things.
I wear mine, Coach. I wear mine.
Okay.
All right.
Look at you.
And then we might have to add Oregon to my banner. You know, there might be
Okay, now you'll become a fan.
of Dan Lanning. Of course I
Yeah,
would.
but he also doesn't know that that's just he's now one of 15.
Doesn't matter because we got a personal
too many teams.
Well, let's think about this, like the banner. If we add Oregon, is it fair to say we should take somebody off the banner?
Yes.
Yes.
Like, can we just keep it like whatever the number is?
Okay.
If you add a team, you remove. It's
All
kind of
right, we could. I'm okay with that, Coach. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, who's on it? You got Florida State on it.
We got Florida. We
There
got
we
Penn
go.
State.
Penn State.
Pitt.
Penn State's got to go. This is a Big Ten team.
No, but I live. I grew up 40 minutes from State College. That's the problem.
Georgetown. See ya.
How badly does one want?
Look at that.
See, Coach. See how many there are. See.
I
the
love
Penguins down there in the bottom right.
Depends. Yeah. I love sports, Coach. That's all I could say. I love sports.
Do you love shoes more?
I do
is
love
the question.
I do love some Oregon shoes that I can't get. So I'm saying.
Penn State off, Oregon on.
Come on,
If he
Rich.
sends
Don't do that.
Yes.
For the deal, I mean, if you want the shoes, I mean, I'm just saying.
Listen, this man is a top-notch elite coach who's
I know,
given
we're
us this
taking-
amount of
we're
time.
taking
You
his
have
time right
seconds
now.
to make this choice.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Penn State, I can't.
Off.
Do it.
It doesn't have to be Penn State. Go back
See
to the
it.
list. Let me see the list again. Let me see the list.
See it.
Let me see the list. I'm gonna help you out here.
What do you got?
Yeah.
It's Florida State or Penn State. It's the choices.
Because you're saying it has to replace another college.
Or,
you think?
or Coach, there's room for another
Oh,
one.
he'll
Put
ditch
there in
hockey.
the
He'll
body.
ditch hockey for the
I don't
shoes.
see any room.
I mean,
don't
I
give
see
him
any
that
room
out.
for another.
Georgetown,
I don't
see ya.
room. What about? I mean, so one of the college teams has to come off.
Easy
right?
Georgetown team.
Georgetown.
Well, let me get the shoes, and then we'll.
No. Oh, wait a minute.
All right, we'll see.
I'm
dare
joking.
you?
I'm joking.
What is the matter with you?
The other thought is maybe instead of the pin, it becomes like like whoever you remove, it just becomes like a pin, like a pin you put on your,
He's basically he's handing
Trying
you the
to make
shoes
a
at
deal
this
for
point.
you.
No,
Make the deal. Like this is
Help
the
me,
price is
help
right.
you.
But I would hope
Help
the coach
me.
would see me being
Help
loyal
you.
and enjoy my loyalty.
Nope.
You know, loyalty. Like,
Take the deal. We have seconds to go.
you want me to take Penn State off the?
No, he even just told you to make it smaller.
Oh yeah, I said we can put it on there.
Okay. Oregon banner.
Oregon
Penn
banner.
State,
Let's go.
Penn
Ducks.
State dot.
Plus
A dot.
my mechanic's son, he
We
goes
good?
to Oregon, so I have a connection.
Are we
there.
good?
So
Are we good? Deal? We have a deal? Deal or no deal?
I'll get an address.
Deal or no deal.
Fantastic. You got it. Coach, you're the man. Take care, man. There he goes. Dan Lanning.
all right, Coach.
Size 13 shoes.
TJ.
Yeah, baby.
I just want the mascot.
Boy, you nailed it.
Try to knock me off my feet, still standing with more money than I came with. Goddamn, took a loss, but I'm still up. Gambling man, betting all the chips that I got left.